Hello, everyone. My name is Biljana Vozarevic, and I would like to share with you my experience of running marathons and how it helped me turn within. Actually, this happened much later than a usual runner starts running, and I was not an athlete at all. I was a mother of two boys. My Philip was, let's say, 6 or 7 years old, and Vukashin was 2-year old and still in his nappies. So I was taking him out, and I was just looking around the joggers around the football pitch and the playground, children's playground around. So I was thinking how overwhelmed I was by doing all the chores and bringing up two children. Of course, dedicating my life fully. I didn't work fully at that time. I was dedicating my life to being a mom, and it was a full-time job most of the time. Actually, what I was looking for and what inspired me was this feeling of freedom and freshness that those joggers around felt. I got inspired to run and started picking a bit of my time during the day and went out just like a vent. I felt that as a huge vent. Probably you also feel overwhelmed emotionally or with everyday maybe things to solve, some challenges as well, and feeling that you would like to let go of everything and just feel huge freedom, like you would like to let go of all the troubles or burden or chatting in your mind or anything. And also at the same time, some urge to do something good for yourself. So not to become, let's say, with, heavier emotionally or even physically, heavier in the sense of putting more burden, addictions, aggression, anything like that. Just inclination to do something good for yourself and which will reflect good to others. So I wanted to keep on, living a healthy lifestyle, some neat, tidy, let's say, lifestyle during the day, getting up early. Of course, with children, you can't actually, with little children, babies, etc., you can't have much choice when you're going to sleep. But anyway, sleep deprivation didn't matter at all to me. I was just putting my trainers and went out and run and run and run. It inspired me to challenge myself to run and run more and more as much as I could. So what I did, I counted the circles around the football pitch. I started increasing the numbers and several, 5, then 10. And at once it became 50, 60 times around the circle. So imagine this monotony of running one circle by one, another and another, etc., around football pitch. So this was really, really calming from the mind and challenging from the body. So I was focusing on my breath and also going apart from this football pitch, somewhere into the nature, into the mountain, Fruška Gora, and went into the long runs when I involved this. Of course, I prepared myself gradually. I prepared myself step by step, first 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. Later on, I challenged myself with structured training, let's say for recreational runners, for a half marathon, and only after, even the whole year of half marathons, I challenged myself with running a full marathon. So it couldn't be just like that, let's go and play football, or let's go or have a tennis match, recreational tennis match. You really need to prepare yourself hard, mentally, physically, to be really tough, to have persistent discipline and everything else in order to run these 42 kilometers and 200 meters. So it's not even just these 42 kilometers, but also 200 meters more. Okay. Then, in order to prepare myself, I had to lead and pay attention to really live consciously, to eat consciously, to sleep, consciously, to decide when I'm going to go to bed, when I was going to get up. Of course, it didn't matter if, as I said, I was sleep deprived or not. I just felt this passion towards running and having that vent and doing something good for my body and mind. To eat properly as well, because you needed energy. You can't put rubbish into your body and just run properly. You had to eat a moderate amount and sometimes even large amount of food. I was happy that I could eat a lot because everything and all calories were spent during the running. But not rubbish, you couldn't eat junk food and just be strong and powerful and endure all the effort and all this, hard, attempts and all this, even pressure, sometimes mental and physical, challenge. This was actually running was both for health and for keeping fit and for mental event and mental strength. But also this added a lot more value socially, because in running, I joined some groups of runners where everyone was equal, everyone was friendly, everyone was happy when you're there. Nobody was judging you. You could chat with it. So even a CEO of a big company and like a casual worker from some restaurant or as a shop assistant or whoever, everybody was together, happy with the same, goal, and there were no such differences. And it affected everyone, and it affects everyone in a proper way to, reduce the health problems. It reduces social problems. It reduces mental problems. It really balances your life because it makes you live consciously. It makes you really live consciously. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your lifestyle, and that also reflects to your family and at least 10 people around you. Because if you take running as an example, it's total ecosystem. It covers food. There is food industry oriented towards health. There is sports industry, sports clothes industry oriented towards sports clothes, then sports shoes, trainers for runners, all kinds of tracksuits, all kinds of leggings, tops. There is really huge, variety of equipment and clothes for this. There are certain watches and gadgets that is available there. So huge gadgets industry, technology involved in that. I was also using a kind of, watch which followed my heart rate, sometimes heart rate. I wasn't bothered much about heart rate, but I was interested more in my pace, to balance my pace. For example, whether I'm going to run 5 kilometers per hour or 4 kilometers per hour, or just jog like 6 kilometers per hour. So whether I could make myself faster in some sprints, for example, even 3.5 kilometers per hour. So I was challenging myself all the time. Apart from gadget, there is also ecosystem in medicine where a lot of doctors are paying attention to the runners' well-being during these races, and not only for the athletes or even elite athletes. A lot of medicine, sports medicine is involved in recreational runner. So apart from that, there is also as I mentioned, food and supplements, they're part in that pharmacy. You can really think of huge ecosystem. Then organizations of marathons themselves are amazing part, which involves, the whole community and turns the whole community into a healthy lifestyle. Imagine, hundreds and thousands of people who are got together, exhilarated, well-trained, prepared to run together from a lot of nations. For example, if it is an international one, like there are some in Serbia, in Belgrade, in Novi Sad, etc., and going for a run. And this is really an amazing. A lot of organizers and companies get together there and are involved there. So this is really an impressive, huge ecosystem, which involves community into a healthy lifestyle, physically, mentally, and socially, and it reflects to the whole society. So you can't just sleep up until 10 and 11. You need to get up early to run and make yourself strong, then have a good breakfast, then also go to work and do your work properly, then you have more strength, better concentration, better memory, and the whole chemistry, the whole energy around you is, amazing, lighter, brighter. So if you haven't tried, and if you're, healthy enough so that you can run, your legs can do it properly, then put on your trainers and go for a run outdoors. Of course, if you're not isolated now, or at least in the times when you're not isolated. What was also useful for me, and what I found even more intriguing, and what I wanted to tell you about, is these stepping into myself. So imagine this rhythmic running from time to time. So when I was, let's say, on my own, and runners are often on their own, being with yourself, making equal rhythmic, steps and rhythmic breaths. You need to pay attention to your breath. And like with swimming, you can swim kilometers and kilometers if you just get into the rhythm of your breath. The same way is with running. When you get into yourself and into a rhythm of breathing, like 3 times inhale and 2 times exhale. That was my favorite, Inhale 3 steps, exhale 3 steps, sometimes like that. Inhale 3, exhale 3, or inhale 4, exhale 4. When I ran faster, it was like 2 and 2, 2 inhale, 2 exhale. So you can experiment with yourself if you start running, but it was always moderate and conscious. You need to pay attention to your breath. Do you know the time when you pay attention to your breath during the day? Do you spend some time on that? To pay attention on your breath. You're probably distracted most of the time. You can probably find a few minutes during the day to pay attention to your breath, which is extremely useful. But if you go out for a run, you can do it even longer. And it's, appealing. You will pull you into it, and you will want to do it more because this peace inside is, amazing. And it's like a homecoming when you started feeling this, at the end of the race, some runners high. I don't know whether you ran before and whether you really challenged yourself in running. Maybe just jogging. This is fine. If you want to challenge yourself in running and feel runners high, for example, this is an extremely ecstatic moment where you don't know, where you are, who you are, whether you exist or not. You just feel this ecstasy of, coming to the end of something beautiful. You run and run and run. You go through the pain. You go through the challenges. you calm yourself down. You don't allow yourself to get angry or to chat too much, to self-sabotage yourself. You control yourself mentally and then endure physically. You know simply that you can do more than you think. So you don't allow yourself to slow yourself down, to become your own inner enemy. You make first you make friends with yourself. You train yourself to be your own friend mentally, and then run and run. And when you feel you can't handle it anymore, you know, just you speed up, and then you see that there is strength there, but you don't know where it came from, but it is there. You find this amazing strength somewhere. You know, life gives it to you. Just when you that enormous embracing faith, it comes to you, and then you can handle it in one more step, and then faster and faster, and in the end, you just like, yes, this is, you know, I did it feeling when you have all the, you know, showers of waves of you know, energy throughout the whole body, and then relax, you know. This runner's high, you know, without thoughts, just the moment of like, now I did it, and this peace inside, and like feeling that everything is as best as it could be. I wanted to go there again, and I knew that it had more to do within myself than outside of me. I wanted to go into that moment within more and more. And it's not easy to run, you know, like 21 kilometers every day, or 42 kilometers. So there is preparation to it, etc. Your body needs to endure it. So I was thinking, how can I make my time more useful so that I don't spend too many hours per day or per week on the running, and find this feeling on permanent bliss. You know, how can I keep that feeling inside more and more? How can I keep feeling and making it longer? So I assured myself and realized that this discipline of preparing my mind and body from day to day for months and then for years really helped me. This conviction, which comes out as a result of preparing yourself, setting your goal and going step by step to achieving it, regardless of distractions. You just focus on it and make yourself go out, even if it is raining and if there are problems out here and there. It is just a place where you are on your goal, focused, and where, you know, everything seems to be good for yourself. This is it. This is it actually for your own soul and for your own body. I had a luck that I wasn't injured, but even runners who got injured feel it as a temporary obstacle, not as like permanent if they are well. So imagine that discipline and determination and conviction, which brings you step by step higher and higher into this fitness, into this strength. It reminded me of some vision by Jordan Peterson, a psychologist, who said that it's not important to achieve that, to go, for example, to the top. If there is a pyramid, drive to that, you know, to the top of the pyramid. You're like inside and fighting and fighting and fighting, running and running and running, like in a rat race. You think you want to go to the top of the pyramid, but actually it's not the top of the pyramid which is important. Like, it's not to become first, the fifth or the 55th at the end of the race or marathon, which is important. Or it's not even the end of the race which is important. It is actually to get rid of this pyramid and just watch everything from above. Even if there are more pyramids here, you strive towards the top of the pyramid, you strive towards the other, whoever it is in whichever pyramid, it doesn't matter, but you strive to go to the top of the pyramid, but it's not the top of the pyramid which is important. It is that you get out and let go of the pyramid and watch everything from above, watch everything from a totally different dimension. And I managed to feel that other dimension, at least for a moment, at the end of the races or throughout some phases in the races, and I strive to have more of it. This sweetness, this bliss, this peace, this ecstatic bliss. And slowly it turned me more within. I respected my breath, my conscious living and lifestyle more. It brought me to Mohanjit as well, and started working more and more. Life brought me different areas where I could work on, and I turned into yoga slowly and gradually. But that running played a big role in my life. So from the age of 32, let's say to the age of 40, I ran half marathons and marathons. And this was a really, really amazing cycle of my life from 32 till, let's say, 40. Thank you for watching. And see you someday again. If you have any questions, if you want to ask me more, let me know. If you want me to talk more about my experiences from running, also let me know. I'll be happy to share them with you. And now I invite you at least to live consciously. If your room is messy, let's say, make your bed, make it proper, because what is outside can influence the order inside. And also put your trainers on and run. Don't get lazy, don't get inertia, contaminate your space, contaminate your body and mind. And get up early, make yourself strong and healthy, eat healthy. See you. Bye.